I'm back. I just filmed a book haul, but I don't know which one's going up first. So, in explanation for why I've been gone, I had some health issues. It's summer in Arizona, so we've been traveling, and I just haven't had the chance to film, let alone find time to edit. So we'll see how quickly these go up. It is the end of August, and I want to pick my TBR jar for September. So hoping that this will go up soon to be relevant for September. Otherwise, just pretend it's for October. Also, reading, I went through a major slump. When I'm sick, like I can't use my brain. And so reading just sounded horrible. So I watched One Tree Hill nonstop. Really didn't read much in June and July, but I started picking up reading again in August, and I have had some really great reads. So I will do a wrap up in the next few weeks or a month. We'll see. But I'm going to pick my TBR. I can't remember how many I did last time because I don't even know when that was. It's been too long. So I'm gonna pick 8 because I'm still averaging like 13, 14 books a month. So if I pick 8, I'll definitely finish it and then have some space to like sprinkle in, you know, whatever books come in through the library and stuff like that. So I think I still have a decent amount of prompts in here. So let's just jump into it. I've missed this. I've missed having a TBR too. Picking from the TBR jar and then also having a TBR to like read from. Not having a TBR, there's just so many options. It's almost overwhelming. A book with a 3-word title. All right, that is pretty wide open, so I'll pick some options. All right, I've got some options. 3 of these are on my 25 for 2025, so I'm kind of leaning towards those. I grabbed King of Wrath because I haven't read Anna Huang in quite a while, and my one friend raves about this series, so I'm kind of tempted, but I'm also have not been in a romance mood, so I'm kind of leaning away from those. These 3 are my 25 for 2025. This Woven Kingdom, The Bone Season, and Fear the Flames. Honestly, this one is like the least intimidating because it's so short. I feel like the indie version, was it not longer? This seems so short. But I've been reading a ton of romantasy and I've been loving it. But it also makes me worried that like the next one I pick up I'm not gonna love. I think I might, well, this is also hefty, but the words seem kind of big and like the book itself is like smaller. So I think I'm gonna go with this Woven Kingdom by Tahari Mafi for a book with a 3-word title, and then I'll be able to check another one off of my 25 for 2025. I have like 15 left, right? Yeah, which is a lot. So I need to like get going on that. I've read 10, which is good, especially considering I've like not read the last 2 months. But I like want to keep that ball rolling, you know? All right, prompt 2. Read a book from an author with the same initials as you. My initials are JG, and I feel like the chances of finding that are pretty slim. So I might just have to like find a J or a G, like J first name or G last name, but I'm gonna go check Goodreads. The only downside to my Goodreads is I don't believe I have all of these in my want to read, but we'll see what is in there. G, okay. Well, so I might have to do that. Some G last names would be like Stephanie Garber. So I have Caraval, Rachel Gillig. So I could do The Night and the Moth, which I've really been wanting to read. Adeline Grace with Belladonna, and my daughter's name is Adeline, so not my initials, but someone's. Oh. I think I have to do this one because it's JG, John Gwynn, and I'm JG. Please hold. Because I have another John Gwynn. The Shadow of the Gods or Malice. Which do I go? Which route do I go? Is there like a recommended order? They're totally unrelated, right? I think I'm gonna start with this one because there's a dragon on it. That's my reasoning. Book 2, The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynn, JG. Prompt 3. A Kindle Unlimited book. That's exciting. Where's my Kindle? All right, I'm currently reading The Night Prince, but I think I will finish that before September because it's so quick. I think I read The Wolf King in a day, which my husband would not be impressed by. I could finish a series or catch up to a series. I guess it's not finishing. A Vow of Embers, which the first one is A Tribute of Fire, so I could do that. Or you can catch up on my Ryan Cahill book, which I love. But that one's like a 1,600-page book, so maybe not right now. Riftborn, Daggerbound, Till Summer Do Us Part is an audiobook, but I feel like I want to prioritize a different one. Like that one's like, if I got to it, it would be cool, but like summer's almost over and there are other ones I want to read, like For Whom the Bell Tolls, On Wings of Blood, Her Soul to Take. Well, I'm reading The Wolf King right now, and so probably not Daggerbound because I feel like that's also a wolf one. I could be so wrong on that. I'm gonna do A Vow of Embers so that I can catch up on that series. And it's also, if you have Kindle Unlimited, you could also listen to it through Audible for free. So I'm gonna do A Vow of Embers by Soraya Wilson for my Kindle Unlimited pick. All right, prompt 4. Random letter generator for author initial. Wow, we're all about author initials right now. Did I say number generator or letter generator? Because I meant letter. Here it is. Generate a random letter. N. It's over here. Teeny tiny. Back to my Goodreads to sort and find an author that ends with N, or whose last name starts with N. That can't be. I only have 2. I'm gonna have to do a quick perusal because I have like none in my Goodreads. I mean, who would have thought I would have picked? Well, I didn't pick. The generator picked like the most challenging letter there was. Let me check my Kindle. I found 2 options, but I'm not like thrilled with either of them. The physical books that I found were Uprooted by Naomi Novik, which is double N. Very rare, apparently. And then Scythe by Neil Shusterman. I had to open it up to first names because there were like no last names, except for Naomi Novik. So these are 2 solid options. The other option is Fate of the Sun King, which is it's part of the Trial of the Sun Queen. That's actually probably not the name of the series, but it's by Nisha. I think I want to prioritize reading a physical book. I just have to pick between these 2. This would technically be starting a new series, but I've also heard people say like they wish it stopped at the first one, you know? And then I believe this is a standalone, but let me check the reviews. Uprooted has a 4.02 stars, and Scythe It's 4.32 stars. So I think I'm gonna go with that. I think I'm gonna listen to the people, even though they're both over 4 stars. I'm gonna go with Scythe by Neil Shusterman. Halfway. So this will be the 5th prompt. A romantasy, which I've been eating up lately. So let me check what I've got. I've grabbed some, and I believe all of these are on my 25. I think they're all on 25 for 2025. A few options that are on my list. This one I've just been meaning to get to for forever. The Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. And then this is on my 25 for 2025. Heavenly Bodies by Imani Aru. Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling. And then this might be my most anticipated, The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. So I think I'm gonna go with this one. And it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Prompt 6. A book with a map. One that I've picked up, like it's in my stack to read next, has a map. Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. This would catch me up to the series. I've read 4 pages, so that could be cheating, but let me see what other options we have. All right, I've grabbed a couple to check. Fear the Flames. Apparently I just want to read this because I keep picking it up. There's a map. Hellbent, like I said. This one's a cool map, it's Yale. So possibly that one. Let's see, the City of Brass. Is there a map? There is a map. This is on my 25 for 2025. I gave myself a hefty list. Oh, sorry, that's just gonna be there. All right, and then Jade City, I just saw, also has a map. A few maps. Okay, so I've got like an epic fantasy. I've got a YA fantasy, a romantasy, a YA dystopian. So I'm kind of between Fear the Flames and Hellbent. I think I'm gonna go with Hellbent so I can both catch up on a series and check one off of my 2025. And I also currently have the audiobook through my library. And if you've not done it yet, if you listen and read at the same time, 10 out of 10 experience, you know? Lovely birds on my arm. Wish I knew what that was from. All right, the 7th prompt. A book that is part of a duology. I feel like that's gonna be harder than I think it is. Let me look. All right, I had to go into the archives for these. And what I mean by that is this tiny little bookshelf does not hold all of my unread books. So I had to go to my hall closet. But I found some, and most of these are like, they've been on my TBR for a while, so it'd be good to get these out of the way. These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. This one kind of feels like it goes with it, but These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan. I feel like this really shows how long I've had these books. Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. I've been putting this off because I feel like you're supposed to read Kiss of Deception first, but I tried to listen to Kiss of Deception years ago, and I was just not into it. So I might not do this one now, but someone please tell me if I have to do that or if I can just read this, because I think this book is beautiful, and that is why I bought it. Laini Taylor, Strange the Dreamer. I have no idea what this is about, but I feel like I read Smoke and Bone or listened to it and didn't love it. But historically, if I listen to a book, it has to be a specific type of book or I can't get into it. A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. I'm like torn because like I really want to read this because I loved her new book, Wild Reverence, like loved it. So I'm like, oh, well, will I love this too? Or will I be comparing it the whole time and be disappointed? I don't know. And then the logical one that I should do is finish a duology and read Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. Because I read Six of Crows this year, so it's like still fresh on my mind. I think I have the Audible book as well, so I could listen to it and read it, so it'd be a quick one. Despite these all being good options, I'm gonna finish a duology so I can check it off my list. All right, we are down to the last prompt. Prompt 8. Recommended by a friend. Okay, so my friend Lindsay also reads an insane amount of books, and she always gives me recommendations. I'm reading The Wolf King and The Night Prince per her recommendation, and I'm loving it. Sometimes her and I like totally agree and we love the same books. Sometimes we are not on the same page. So I'm interested to see. This has been a recommendation by her, as has The Striker. She loves these. Based on the sizes of them, because size does matter. I think I'm gonna go with King of Wrath. Yeah, I'm gonna go with King of Wrath. A quick recap on my TBR. This Woven Kingdom, The Shadow of the Gods, what's that? A Vow of Embers? I just made that up. A Vow of Embers. Way to go, me. I feel like so many of those romantic-y titles are all the same, you know? And if you don't know what the story's about, trying to remember the title is even harder. Scythe by Neil Shusterman. The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. This is like a dense book. It's heavy. That's what that means. Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. My stack. Crooked Kingdom by Leigh Bardugo. They're totally different, it'll be fine. And then King of Wrath by Anna Huang. So those are my 8 books. Tune in next month to see if I read them all. Keep an eye out for my summer reading wrap up, because it'll be like May, June, and July, and August. I've got a lot of books to wrap up because I've been not here, but I've read some really great books that I think I've read some really great books that I want to talk about with you guys. All right, thanks so much for watching, guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you later.